Hey folks, Moose Peterson here. I want to talk about a lens you've probably noticed me using a lot lately on the blog. That's the 50 1.4 AFS lens. First of all, it's a sexy lens. Look at that puppy. I love just the mere looks of it. Now when I first got this lens, when it first came out, I kind of dismissed it because the autofocus, well, it's just damn slow. I mean, it's like creepy crawly, back in the f3AF days kind of slow. So I didn't really shoot with it. Wasn't until McNally sat there and started doing some amazing stuff with it that I said, hey, I like that 1.4. So I picked it up, got it a reconditioned one from Jeff Snyder at Adorama. Great lens. A couple of things about it. First, it is 58 millimeter, the filter size. So it is a little bit bigger than the traditional 51.4 from 1959. I mean, for all those years, for over 50 years, it stayed to 52 front element. Now it's 58. That means it's a whole new optical design, and that is just a tack sharp lens. Now, as you're looking at the photograph behind me, you're probably seeing everything out of focus. Well, that's the whole idea of the 51.4. It's that very, very, very narrow depth of field. Now, I most of the time shoot it at 1.4. I sit there and focus on the subject, being very careful to make sure the focus point is exactly where I want it, and take the shot. Now, how critical is it? Now right now my face is kind of straight onto the camera. If I turn my face just a tad and I focus on this eye, at 1.4 this eye will be in focus and this one will be out. Just that small change in my face plane will make that second eye, the one in the behind, out of focus. That's how narrow the band of focus is. That's very cool. Now I said most of the time I'm at 1.4. When might I not be at 1.4? Well, I'm out shooting like right now. I'm here in Yellowstone. It's snowing. It's bright. It's white. And I sit there and I take the meter reading, and right now the camera says high. It's not being friendly. What it's telling me is that it is needing a shutter speed faster than 1/8 thousandths of a second. Yeesh. Okay? Well, to get a faster shutter speed than 1/8 thousandths, I have to close the lens down. So that's one of the things with a 51.4 you need to be aware of, is the fact that that shutter speed, you can max out. Keep in mind I'm at ISO 200, and out here, right now, it needs probably 10 thousandths of a second at 1.4 to get the right exposure. Now, how do you make use of this depth of field? Well, the way you make use to it is getting basically close to your subject. You know, I'm shooting maybe at most of the time, this far from my subject. That permits the background, especially if it's way behind the subject, like you're seeing behind me, to be totally blurred. I mean, here's a couple examples where I've taken this lens, I've put it at 1.4, I've put this focus point, and you can see in these images exactly what I'm talking about, because that part of the image is tack sharp and the rest is blurred. Now that's a great way of doing storytelling. Great way of doing it, of having the subject tack sharp and the world around it slightly out of focus. And that's what these images are all about, is to use that narrow depth of field as a storytelling tool. Now the 51.4, okay, is an AFS lens, which means it has the M switch on it. So you can manually focus, okay, when you're in autofocus mode. Press the shutter release, manually focus if you want. If you want to go back to autofocus, take your finger off, re-engage the camera. 51.4, tack sharp, dog slow AF lens, one I highly recommend. Thanks for coming by.